One day, everything you built will break. A job, a relationship, a dream you thought would last forever, gone. But life only destroys what wasn't built on truth. So when you're standing in the ruins, don't panic. Because sometimes collapse isn't failure, it's freedom. Rebuilding is how you meet your real self. And in that silence, in that pain, a stronger version of you begins to rise. Every choice you make builds something. Your habits, your character, your life. Here we don't chase motivation, we architect mindset, discipline, and purpose. Welcome to Ethos Architect. The first step to rebuilding your life is acceptance. Stop pretending it didn't happen. Stop asking, why me? The moment you accept that your old version has ended, you free yourself from fighting ghosts. Acceptance is not giving up. It's taking back control. It's standing in front of what's broken and saying, this is where I am, but not where I'll stay. When life falls apart, your strength begins with surrender, not to weakness, but to truth. Because the truth, no matter how painful, will always set the foundation for peace. Acceptance is the first act of power. It's the bridge between what was and what's next. And on that bridge, you begin to understand you were never meant to stay the same. When everything's gone, your plans, your certainty, your safety, you finally discover who you are without them. What beliefs remain when comfort leaves, what values still stand when the world moves on. That's your foundation. You don't rebuild from what you lost, you rebuild from what's real. Because sometimes life tears away everything fake just to show you what's genuine. And that moment, when everything external disappears, that is where authenticity is born. The collapse is not your punishment, it's your purification. It's life's way of removing everything that was never meant to carry you forward. So don't rush to fill the silence, learn to listen to it, because in silence your direction returns. You start to remember who you were before the noise, before the masks, before the expectations. That's where rebuilding begins, not with action, but with awareness. Don't rush the reconstruction. The modern world glorifies speed. Move on, bounce back, fix it fast. But slow growth is sacred. Fast growth is fragile. Be deliberate. Start with one new habit, one boundary, one dream you no longer abandon, one act of self-respect repeated daily. That's how new foundations are laid. Quietly, consistently. You don't rebuild by chasing motivation. You rebuild by showing up when no one's clapping. True strength is built quietly, brick by brick, in the shadows where only your discipline sees the progress. Because every act of patience is proof that you trust your process. And when you trust your process, you stop fearing the pace. Because what's slow to grow is slow to break. Strength isn't noise, it's the calm that remains when the storm is over. It's not the roar of victory, and it's the whisper, I'll try again. Real strength rebuilds in silence. It doesn't need to prove itself, it simply becomes unshakable. The strongest souls aren't the ones who never fell, they're the ones who rebuilt without applause. That's not defeat, that's design. That's the quiet art of reconstruction. Because you're not rebuilding the same life, you're constructing a new one that can finally hold your truth. And that's what rebirth feels like. Calm, grounded, and unshakably certain. Remember, when you rebuild, don't recreate the person who broke, design the one who learned. You're not returning to who you were, you're evolving into who you were meant to be. The collapse wasn't the end, it was the clearing, a sacred space where your new foundation could finally be laid. So stop mourning what's gone and start building what's next. Because every ending is an architect's invitation to rebuild stronger, wiser, and truer than before. Don't call it recovery, call it rebirth. This is Ethos Architect. Build wisely. Your mind is your blueprint, your actions, the architecture. Build wisely, subscribe, and design your life with Ethos Architect.